Hey everyone, Zadak Leader here, and today I'm going to show you all the Sun AI Toys Robot Leader, or Sun AI Toys as I call it, even though I know it might be Sun AI Toys. This is of course a newer model. This is the 1995-96 version probably, and this was actually bought by Kevin. Yeah, it was bought by Kevin for me. It came from eBay from a seller who claims it was brought from Germany, which I can't say yes or no because this guy was like everywhere, so it's impossible to say if it was an actual Germany robot or not. I know Germany did have these robots too, so it's logic. Of course, throughout the years, this guy has had a couple issues, which are not really that much of a problem because the thing looks great. But of course, one of the spikes of the head, that one right there, broke off. And of course, the little pegs of the gun, there's only one that's still standing. And of course, internally, the helical gear was broken. No biggie. Actually, Kevin fixed it up for me. And there was this one thing that actually got me it really shocked me, and it's the fact at one point this arm broke off. And the previous owner literally grabbed it and made up a custom piece for it and glued it to the arm. So the arm is actually not only posable, but also it has a new piece. So it got somewhat professionally fixed. Now I cracked my ass off laughing because that was the thing, and I was just like, well, I was amazed about that. Until I take apart the robot and I see that in one corner of the body block, this thing was there. And this thing is the piece of the arm that was broken off. So they could have just glued the part, but then again, they decided doing a much better job, and I just don't judge them on that. It's up to them. However, as I've said before, this is one of the two robots that Kevin bought for me personally with his own money. And it's really cool, and it's as well the mascot of my channel, which I do have a Zadak Leader, but it's in really bad shape now. I mean, you guys might have seen it a couple of years ago, like 3 or 4 years ago. The guy was walking and spinning somehow, but after all of these years, the mechanism just got completely yellow, it shattered, and it's just terrible. So at one point, I would actually need a replacement Zadak Leader, or at least the gearbox of one, to make it work again. However, as for now, this guy is actually here to replace him. But there's a few differences, of course, like mainly, this guy actually has a battery trick which only works for the motor, which is the three first batteries power the motor and all four batteries power the sound and lights. My other one had a paper that was exactly like the one for the speaker, covering this to make it probably quieter, or for you not to be able to see the coils, which in this one, you can actually see them, the covered coils of the speaker. Then of course the board. The board actually has a few differences, which is mainly the shape it has. And if that's not all, this guy actually has a different programming than mine. The exact same sounds, slightly higher pitch I think, but this one begins with the phrase, "My name is Zadak." Funny enough, there's actually two versions of these robots. There's one that begins by "My name is Zadak," and there's a version that begins with "Drop your weapon." The one that I had said "Drop your weapon," and of course I still have it, but it just no longer moves. It just plays sound and everything. This one begins with "My name is Zadak," which is pretty neat. And also, another cool thing is that this guy actually is loud as fuck. This is loud as fuck. And as it really got well taken care of, surprisingly, and it has not really that much of a bad, thing. My other one literally had like the back was all like rusted, so I had to literally use the contacts of my original commander for him. So yeah, other than that, the light bulb was burned out. I changed it, no biggie. I lubricated the motor, changed the pinion gear of the motor, cleaned everything up. Basically, I rewired the robot with the same wires because I had to clean it up. Everything was like, that's the other thing. It was really well taken care of because it barely had any dirt. Okay. It had just a little dust around the neck area, maybe a little bit at the ankles, but barely inside. A little bit of dust around here, but no biggie. it was a pleasure to deal with this robot, to be honest. I'm gonna go ahead and show the sign, because Kevin did actually sign this guy, or we can call it a sign. I just call it a freaking whatever, an autograph kind of. It says you know what? Fuck it. Why can I not pronounce this? Well, you get the point. Zorua635 Kevin, which in my personal case it looks like if it said 2635 Revan. But yeah. Other than that, this is pretty much the another second generation robot leader, just like the one that I have, which is a perfect replacement. And why is this guy the icon of my channel, you may ask yourself. Well, it's a robot leader Zadak, and my channel is called Zadak Leader, but it was not called Zadak Leader because of this guy. As I've said before on my About Zadak Leader video, the name came up by me trying to make a Zadak robot that would be pretty much, it's ironic because it was made before I was born, but the design of the Zadak that I somehow drew back then was basically the design of the Zadak space robot, with those shoulders, the way the mouth looked like, it was pretty much kind of like that, so it was pretty weird, I'll say, and I called it Zadak Leader. So it turns out then Kevin actually tells me, hey, Zadak Leader would be a cool channel. And in all honesty, it no longer surprises me that there's so many coincidences between him and me. So let's just say that was another big ass coincidence, and probably the first one that I actually was, able to witness ever since I knew him. But yeah. So anyways, here's Robot Leader, and I'm gonna show you all how well he works. He might not walk that well, because he's too fast, and the wheels are actually made out of hard rubber, and this ones are plastic, so he doesn't really have that much grip. But anyway, I guess it's worth showing.
My name is Zadak.
So yeah, there you have it. That's a pretty neat robot, and the fact that it's really fast, and he hasn't broken down yet, which kind of surprises me, because my other one, the last thing I saw of him walking and spinning was in 2014, and he was working really fast. Then in 2015, I kind of cheated on it because I thought, hey, of course not this one, the other one, the one that I had. Well, I have it, but he just no longer moves. In 2015, I actually did a little cheating on it, and I said, hey, let's put Leader New Robot's gearbox on it to see how it works. Somehow he did work somewhat fine, but it was not its gearbox, and sometimes it would just get jammed and shit, so yeah. But anyways, thankfully, thanks to Kevin, I actually have a fully functional Zadak Leader, which was something I barely ever saw, and thankfully right now I'm able to own it. So thanks Kevin for that. And the other robot that he bought for me is literally up there, which is the Adventure Force Astrobot, which is a pretty well designed robot, I'll say that. I'll do a video on it soon. It's really well designed. The quality is just outstanding, and you literally pay $1 less than what you pay in a dollar store for a robot leader. And if you guys know robot leaders, yeah, they are a piece of crap. Even though I bought 4 of them because of the fact they're pretty neat, actually. I mean, even though they are not as good quality as Astrobots, they still have their thing, as, the design they have and everything. But other than that, I mean, I cannot complain. I got a really good taste of robots. I mean, I got literally 5 turbo fighter robots, a power destroyer, a mini commander, a whole lot of amazing robots. In all honesty, I have never fucking seen here. And if I have seen them, they were always overpriced. Like, personally, the robots I have never seen here are, of course, Robosapien Blue. I've never seen it. Zoomer. Zadak Leader, I've seen it, of course, because I own one. Roboraptor, I think I have seen a couple listings, but they went for around the 500 bucks, which was like, are you fucking kidding me? The thing is used and everything, and this one literally was 5 bucks. This one literally was 5 fucking bucks. Like, what the actual fuck? I'm still shocked about that. And of course, there's Mighty, Mighty Sonic, which is right there. Mini 2001, I've seen it on a listing when I was like 10, and it was extremely expensive. And a bunch of others. I'll have to do a video on all the things. I mean, as I've said before, I promise I will do a video on all my side-to-side robots, but it'll take a while because I gotta bring my robot sergeant and take whatever's left of that one turbo fighter down there to fix it up. And if it all turns out good, Robot Sergeant will no longer be a shooting robot. It'll actually be a super fighter, which, you know, it's the only robot, the only board I have left, which actually has a port, not a port, but a trace for the lights of the gun, because that one is the one that came from, which one was it? That one or that? No, that one. That one's the one that Drayton, of course, yeah. Again, the only reason why I always say it was Drayton's is because that's the only way I can define it. I mean, that one and that one are from Josh from eBay. That one was Kevin's, and he gave it to me for like fixing up Sergeant in first spot. But then I was like, nah, I cannot. It's a blue turbo fighter. I really cannot just piece it up because I'll feel guilty as fuck. And of course, this is the one that Drayton gave to Kevin with a couple of few other stupid robots. But this is probably the one that I that I called the most, like I like the most out of all. And it was also pieces, of course, because he actually took profit out of some parts to fix up his blue super fighter. So right now he fully works and everything, and he's a turbo instead of a super. And the board of it, as I've said before, which is a high-pitched super fighter, is going to go to Robot Sergeant, which I got to bring him, change the gearbox, make a little tune-up on the mechanism, and that's it. So if it all turns out good, I'm planning to actually revive this part's super fighter, even though I don't know how it'll turn out. But if I have enough gears and everything, what I could do to this guy is give him the gearbox of Robot Sergeant and just put a generic chip on it or something, and the robot will constantly move. But then again, that will be optional, and I don't know what I'll do with that one. All I know about is that I already have all of the 3rd gen ones, and the only one I need is the 1st gen blue turbo fighter. Other than that, I am practically done with the regular, well-known turbo fighters. I really could care less about the UK ones. They really just don't catch my interest. They don't spark anything in me, and I would rather just collect the original super fighters rather than the turbos, to be honest. Either those or the ones that are in between that one and that one, which is the Mars super fighter. Then, of course, King Titan, Defender, all of the others, all of those are a must. And I know, honestly, I'm really planning to get them if I ever see them or something, which I don't know if it'll be even possible, but those are a must. The ones that have a removable chest plate are always a must. Those things are great. Other than that, those are pretty much completed by now, and I really don't feel like buying them for like overpriced prices. Even though it would be cool to actually have an army of them. I'm not gonna lie, it would be great, but those things are even expensive here, which I I still question the logic of that, because I paid 70 bucks for that one. 70 bucks, and the thing was not even complete. Like, what the actual fuck? And ironically, there's one of those on Mercado Libre right now. It has a missing arm. Not missing shoulder, I mean. And it's naked as well, and they're asking like 190 bucks. Just like, what the actual fuck is their problem? I mean, they are basic robots. They are super common in the US, and they're not really worth that much. But you know, fucking people, I mean, I've dealt with many sellers in the past, And of course, the robots I get off Mercado Libre are practically mine for a steal because there's no other way I could just buy them. I mean, Cosmic costed me only 20 bucks, and in all honesty, I don't regret it. It's a really nice robot, and after repairing and cleanup, it looks great. Zadak only costed me 6 bucks, and he did work at first, but then of course the gearbox gave up. And the chip, and it's it's depressing to see him like that, but oh well, he's right there for the hell of it right now. And a few others, of course. Boa was only like 20 bucks or less. What a steal. And V2 was around 100 and something, 130, I think. But yeah, that's not really relevant at the point. Then again, thanks Kevin for the robots and everything, and I'll see you all in the next video with another probable repair or slight review. Next up, I'm actually going to begin with the CDI Products Cosmic, which is already fixed, but I gotta clean it up. So, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.